Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Thursday. You know, we've talked about all kind of development that's going on around our county, around our cities. You see it every day. You see construction of warehouses being built. The 489 project is about full out there where FedEx and AutoZone is. You see the new development out at 484. It was just announced that the Jockey Club was bought by the World Equestrian Center. There's going to be some major renovations out there. That's off 318, just past 75. You see just building going on everywhere. You see retail building, commercial building, residential building. We're doing a lot of progress in this county, and growth continues to expand all over, especially commercial growth on I-75, as you would think it is, because it's, you know, a major artery for this country. Well, when you get to 318 up at the Orange Lake exit on 75, there's now a proposed warehouse plan. It's for 453.9 acres, 454 acres, basically, to build 5 large warehouses with 4 million square feet of capacity. The plan is also to develop 28 acres of commercial along 318 for possible 2 small motels and a convenience store or similar business. One of the warehouses is planned to be 1.5 million square feet, 3 others nearly 685,000 square feet each. A 5th is slated to be about 520,000 square feet. This development is known as the Sunny Oaks Regional Activity Center. Now, let me put that in perspective for you. Because, you know, 454 acres, I mean, you know, what? Well, remember, the Ocala-Marion County Commerce Park, just east of I-75 and north of 27, that's 489 acres. That's why it's called the 489 project. You know, that's where Amazon, FedEx, Chewy, and AutoZone is. There's a few more coming. Then you got the Florida Crossroads Commerce Park out at the 484 exit, south of County Road 44. It's more than 1,000 acres. It's home to the 1.9 million square foot Dollar Tree distribution center. More tenants are moving out there. So this is going to be about the size, just a little bit smaller than, you know, about 30, 35, 36 acres smaller than where FedEx, Chewy, AutoZone, and Amazon sit on 318. Now, if you know anything about 318, when you get off 318, there's the Wendy's and the Petro on the right-hand side of the interstate, and on the left-hand side of the interstate, the Ocala Jockey Club and all that is out that way. So horse farms immediately. And it's a 2-lane old rickety road. Well, this plan hit its first roadblock because of that reason. The Marion County Planning and Zoning Board declared at a recent meeting that the road system out there just can't handle that type of growth right now. And if you've ever been to that exit, you know that exit, that road and that exit could not handle the extra traffic that would come with a center the size of a little bit smaller than where FedEx and all is located here in Ocala. So it looks like this is going to have to be retooled, or something's going to have to happen, because, you know, the people that own the property, you got to let them use their property for what, you know, how they see fit, but you also have to do it within reason. And that exit in Orange Lake, the Orange Lake exit, the Macintosh exit, whatever one you want to call it, just isn't big enough to handle that kind of industrial complex. Now, could it be widened or something? That's something you'd have to ask the DOT. But 318 is not, especially right there at 75, is not a good area for you to get all kind of, you know, just new traffic patterns. It's just, It's almost a forgotten exit. I mean, the Petro's there. So, but, anytime I stop through there, as I'm going to Gainesville or something, if I happen to go through there, very seldom do I see that Petro very busy. Because you've just come from 326. You got Gainesville 25 miles to the north. You've just passed 3 big truck stops at the 326 exit. So it's kind of like a forgotten exit. Good morning, you're on Ocala Talks.
Good morning. I didn't know if you had Mr. Colin on yet today.
Robert comes on Wednesdays, the first and third Wednesday of every month.
Wednesday. All right, so here's my question. Watching going to Westport 14 times a day and driving on those roads, how is the development on 318 different from all that Kalisa project with 80th, 60th, and 38th Street, I guess, whatever, because the road infrastructure there is just as bad.
Yeah, but there's a plan in place to widen all that road. That's already part of the plans, is to widen all that.
Okay,
so that was part of the plan. This widening 318 is not part of the plan that this developer has.
Then that's a problem. You're right.
Yeah. There's a plan in place to help alleviate. Thank you for the call. There's a plan in place to help alleviate the traffic situations out on 80th. There's not a plan in place to do anything for the exit, the 318 area. And that's a problem. And besides, if you've ever been on 318 right there at the interstate, we're not talking about the best roadway in the first place. It takes a beating from the trucks that do stop at that Petro. But this is, sometimes they don't let progress go. But this is something that you probably won't see go away because the builder will want to do something with that property. But it hit a snag this week as it was deemed that the roadway could not handle that kind of development. That was what was the recommendation of the Marion County Planning and Zoning Board. They declared that the road system could not handle the kind of growth of a 1.5 million square foot building, 3 other 685,000 square feet buildings, and a 5th that's slated to be about 520,000 square feet. We'll take one more call. You got about 30 seconds. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks. Hello. Good morning.
I'm okay. I work from home, so yeah, I had a good time. I got the kids settled, got one driving me home. It just wants to cut. It just wants to keep cutting out.
Okay.
Correct. And then, yes.
I don't know what's going on there, so thanks for the call, I guess. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more on Ocala Talks. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, and we'd like to, again, welcome on a new sponsor, Blockers Furniture. The Ocala Talks this hour is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. We'll be right back at this short time out with more on Ocala Talks on The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
A new Labor Department report released Thursday has the American economy inching its way to a recession. The Consumer Price Index rose 7.5% in January from a year ago. That's the worst since February of 1982 when inflation hit 7.6%. The mask mandate debate continues, yet nearly a dozen states are dropping the mandate as Americans are saying no more. Virginia Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin on Fox News.
We're seeing the rest of the country also come around us because it's time to get back to normal. It's time to empower parents. And I am so excited that Virginia is leading in a bipartisan way to give parents the power to choose.
Science has revealed the least affected age group to COVID-19 are the children. Yet the CDC still demands kids be masked in schools. For more information, visit us online at usaradio.com. We are USA Radio News.
Fever is a potential sign of COVID or the flu, and the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Exergen temporal scanners, available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Working from home? I'm Chad Dodd, veterinarian and consultant to Limp Bells. Here are some tips for keeping your dog fit while staying at home. Find 15 minutes twice a day and walk your pet at a decent pace around your place. Play hide and seek by hiding some kibble or favorite toys and letting your dog find them. If you have stairs and your dog is mobile, walk up and down twice a day for 5 to 10 minutes. Or better yet, try a power walk on your terrace or backyard for some fresh air. There are more helpful pet care tips at youmove.com, spelled YOUMOVE.com.
The White House is taking heat for
how one company is revolutionizing farming one seedling at a time. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried. Everyone knows Florida grows the world's best produce. From citrus to strawberries, watermelon to blueberries, our produce growers feed our families and the world. With over $125 million in annual revenue for growers, the Fresh from Florida program helps Florida farmers stay competitive in a tough marketplace. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
The 5th Annual Georgia Citrus Association Conference takes place on February 28th in Tifton. Hosted by the Georgia Citrus Association, the conference is the perfect place for growers to get the latest on crop insurance, food safety, regenerative farming, organic growing, nutrition, winter protection, and new citrus varieties. The Georgia Citrus Association is growing, and now is the time to become involved. Tickets are $50 if you pre-register and $60 at the door. Limited vendor space and sponsorships are available. Visit georgiacitrusassociation.org to register today.
A fresh food and urban agricultural company is gaining momentum, growing fresh, local, pesticide-free produce year-round. You may have seen the Gotham Greens name brand on lettuces, herbs, salads, and sauces. The company operates a handful of hydroponic greenhouse facilities around the U.S., including a former steel mill reimagined into a prospering and lush 100,000 square foot hydroponic greenhouse just outside of Baltimore. Through a partnership with USDA, Gotham Greens was able to transform a portion of the site from steel to greens, building a sustainable greenhouse that utilizes machine learning and 100% renewable electricity. Its high-tech farming practices use 95% less water and 97% less land while achieving more than 35 times the yield of conventional open field farming. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have plenty of sunshine today with a high of 68 to 72, then clear skies this evening. Low tonight 46 to 58. Friday should be a nice day with a mix of clouds and sunshine. High on Friday 72 to 76. Clouds and sunshine Saturday, high 77 to 81. Then mostly cloudy Sunday, high 65 to 71. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. This hour is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Excuse me. It is Ocala Talks on a Thursday. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, located just off the runway in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida, at the Ocala International Airport. We talk about the way things are developed in this town and the way that, we follow and we support the development and growth of this town. But then you come up with something like a parking deck, and lines are drawn in the sand. Well, last week, the discussion of the parking deck came up. A second parking deck downtown came up, and it was tabled. Last week, they postponed the purchase of the land. The city had scheduled new opportunities for the public to learn about the potential garage before stepping on the gas, they're saying. So there's going to be two public information sessions. One is scheduled for next Wednesday at noon and 5:30 at the Institute of Human and Machine Cognition. That's IHMC, right there on the corner of 40 and Osceola. The Ocala City Council requested additional opportunities for input from downtown businesses and the public regarding a proposed second downtown parking garage. This according to Ashley Dobbs, with the marketing and communications manager for the city. The council first discussed the parking garage on February 1st, but they unanimously agreed to delay the approval of a contract to purchase the property owned by Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church, citing a lack of community awareness and input. City staff will be on site at this, where they'll be available to review and answer questions regarding site selection, including location, size, parking capacity, infrastructure impacts, and proximity to future development sites. If you don't know what a church is, it's located right there on 3rd Avenue. It borders Southwest 2nd to the east, Southwest Broadway to the north, right there on the corner. It includes parcels both on the north and south side of Fort King. The garage would go on the west side of Southwest 2nd Avenue. The purchase price of the property, $1.76 million for the 1.62 acres. It would come from the General Reserve Fund. The garage could contain up to 4 floors with 400 to 600 parking spots. Construction would take between a year and a half and 2.5 years. Council members are not opposed to the garage. They believe the public and neighboring business owners just didn't have enough details on how city staff came to recommend the church over other potential sites for the garage. In addition to the city staff who recommended the site, Kevin Shealy, president and CEO of the Ocala Metro Chamber and Economic Partnership, also endorsed the church property. He told council that the site is ideal, predicted a subsequent $50 million in investment and development in the surrounding area if the garage was built there. And of course, one of the first rumors that began to circulate was that if the garage is built, another hotel's coming right downtown. If that proves to be true, we don't need another hotel downtown. But that's how quick rumors swirl. There's no indication that is any of the development. But there are people who are already wondering, well, if we're building another parking garage, or is another hotel coming? And there's some rumblings that there's a developer that wants to put a hotel downtown. We already got one downtown. We don't need another one. In my opinion, one's enough. People say, but Tom, that church, what good would that parking garage do way down there? Well, I'm on record as saying you people are lazy. I exclusively park in the parking garage across from City Hall. No matter where I'm going in downtown, I 99% of the time park in the parking garage. Because I know there's spots in there. I know I'll be able to park unless it's a real busy event. I know I can park there. and everything's within 4 or 5 blocks at the most. If I had to walk to Starbucks on Pine and Fort King, or Pine and Broadway, whichever one it's at, if I had to walk to that Starbucks from the parking garage, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 5 blocks. And that's as far away as I could get from that parking garage to there. It's 5 blocks to the Starbucks. Okay. Everything downtown is within 3 blocks of that parking garage. Most is within 2 blocks or 1 block. So, I understand why parking garages, you can put a bunch of different parking spots in a small area. And I know some of you people are going, well, if they made the hotel give up their parking spots, okay, but that deal's already done. There's no reason to try to go back and rehash. That deal's done. The hotel pays a fee to use those parking spots. Whether they use them or not, they pay a fee to have them. You may not agree with the deal. You may not agree with what they pay or how they hold up half the parking garage in some people's estimation. Okay, I understand that, but that deal's already done. Well, there's too many of these parking meters downtown. Yeah, parking meters are everywhere, people. Carry quarters with you. There's plenty of parking downtown. This parking deck, I understand why they're looking at it. I don't think it's necessarily a need right now, but I understand why they're looking at it. You build a parking deck, that helps you lure businesses into that area because there's plenty of parking in that area now. I would say there's plenty of parking now, but I understand why people think they need more parking there. But the future development is what concerns me. See, that's the one that would deter me. The future development. Because what is that future development? It better not be another hotel. But there are rumblings that is exactly what is planned, is another hotel to come in that area. I don't know if those rumblings are substantiated or not. But that's one of the main rumors out there, is that's why the parking garage is being even looked at in that area. I don't know if that's true. I think the parking garage is being looked at in that area because it's the farthest away from the other parking garage, so it gives you coverage one side to the other side of the downtown area. But I'm wondering what is the future development that's going to come and use that parking garage. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I would like to see a small, little grocery store downtown somewhere. I know Churchill Plaza is not very far from downtown, but if you live in the downtown area and the condos they built downtown or some of the living places above some of the restaurants and shops and all downtown, if you like to walk and you don't, you'd rather have an area where you could walk to everything you need, well, then the one thing missing downtown is a small, little grocery store. Doesn't have to be anything big, it doesn't have to be a main grocery store or anything. It can be a small, if you've ever been to New York City or Chicago and everything, they have the small, little bodega store, but you can still get eggs and milk and, toiletry items and the basic needs and a few other things, but it's right downtown, where you can get it so you don't have to go to a big grocery store complex. We need something like that downtown, in my opinion. I don't know that we need another parking garage, but I understand why they're looking at it. But they're going to have these two times public information sessions. They're scheduled for next Wednesday. One is at noon. One is at 5:30. They're having them at IHMC right there on the corner of Osceola and 40. The actual address is 15 Southeast Osceola Avenue. So if you want to be a part of the public information sessions, they're next Wednesday at noon and 5:30 at IHMC, right there at the corner of Osceola and the Boulevard. We'll take a break, come back, more with Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala